So let's welcome Rajat from Wipro. How are you, Rajat? Rajat Sinha.
Yes.
Tell me what you do for Wipro.
So I manage strategic partnerships and relationships in the AI space and data space.
AI and data. And so, I think for a lot of the people in the IT audience, particularly in the, the folks watching who are all over the world, I suppose, Wipro is a well-known name. But what really makes Wipro, particularly in the data and analytics space, stand out? Yes.
So,
maybe we welcome your colleague here, Suresh. Please,
Hi,
Stephen.
Suresh. Stephen Folkers.
Yes.
Stephen, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Stephen Folkers. I'm part of our Wipro data analytics and AI
We have the
team.
camera there, yeah. Very good. So as I was just asking Rajat and Stephen, what makes within the data and analytics space, what makes the Wipro offering stand out?
Right. So we, as a company, and particularly in data analytics, look at the entire stack, all the way from data, how you manage data, move data, virtualize data, right, to the consumption layer,
Yes.
to data warehousing, to performance management, to advanced analytics and AI.
Right.
So we look at the whole spectrum, and our focus is helping companies to become more intelligent.
Yes.
What I mean by that is to become, to get data decision making to become autonomous, right? I think that's our focus and goal. Why are we different? I think it's the flexibility and our partner ecosystem that make us different.
Yeah. So this idea of intelligent automation, right? Which is, what is the whole point of all this data collection, et cetera? You're really trying to go from intelligence to action. Is that
Correct.
Is that what you're? So that's where analytics comes in.
So we look at it in a couple of different ways, and I think about it like this. So every company has data, right?
Yes.
And then you have insights that you make from that data, right? Derived from that data. And then you've got some decisions that you want to make from those insights. Companies that can automate, hyper-automate, or semi-automate those decisions
Yes.
are going to create immense stakeholder and shareholder value for the ecosystem.
Right.
And that's what we consider the intelligent enterprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with Wipro all over the world. In fact, we have customers in Europe, like a large, luxury car maker. We have one of the largest telcos in Southeast Asia. But I also want to hear, I believe you are the expert in talking about one of our pharmaceutical customers that you brought to Denodo, or you introduced to Denodo and were very successful. I don't know I think it's, if you can tell me one of your customer journeys where you've kind of taken data virtualization and made them successful. Could you share something with me about that?
I'd be glad to.
Okay.
Yes, one of our clients is a large drug manufacturer, medical device.
Medical devices, yes.
And global programs as far as operational reporting, analytics, not only in the U.S., but then in the Far East, Europe, Latin America. And the problem that needs to be resolved, that Denodo was brought in, was one, its agility and its flexibility as far as resolving 4 different regional models.
Okay. Regional data models or?
Reporting infrastructures.
Reporting infrastructures, okay.
And then the rationalization and consolidation and the overlap and everything as far as redundancies, that a logical data warehouse, data lake combination catering to both of our end-to-end business process reporting teams,
right,
as well as our data science use cases as well. And the attractive part about the data fabric, the virtualization then, is going back to insights on all of those end-to-end business processes.
Right.
If you're looking at it from a virtualized perspective,
right,
as far as being able to take advantage of insights from data science, from logistics, as far as reporting, and then harmonizing that.
Right. So I can imagine almost that if this company had 4 different reporting infrastructures, they were all moving the data, they were all maybe copying the data, they were creating different data models. So what I'm hearing you say is that by standardizing the access layer, they can just focus on the insights, the decisions, the actions, and not have to kind of reuse or to some extent reuse this common infrastructure for data. Is that right?
That's correct. So we started out with customer insight as far as customer 360,
okay.
Complete view of customer, and began in North America as
okay.
far as a pilot approach. We've extended that now into Europe, and then and again, as far as that piece of clay being able to mold, you don't necessarily know what the end state
right.
View model structure is going to look like. You have to work with your business counterparts as far as constructing that. And so harmonizing that, working with the business closely on that, allows a much faster development cycle,
right.
much less expensive, very forgiving in that if you need to make a change, it's going back to your
very
different
flexible.
layers,
right.
Camouflaging that physical change underneath. And this is for mergers and acquisitions as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Our client has made a number of acquisitions, bringing all of that data in.
Right.
And that's where data virtualization.
The time to value on the M&A becomes faster because you can leverage the data.
Exactly.
Well, one of let me finalize the question here with a relationship that Wipro and I've had. I've had the pleasure of working with your practice leaders like Raman in India,
yes.
your consulting heads like Shekharan here, and you've got all your industry and field people. So Rajat, what do you see as kind of the things that stand out in the relationship that Wipro has had with Denodo?
I think both me and my practice leaders, and I have to give a quick shout out to Ram as well,
yes.
my SME.
Yes, of course. He's our subject matter expert.
Yes, exactly.
Who's made a lot of this possible.
So
correct.
The feedback that I get and the experience that I've had is your ability to quickly respond to our needs and the client needs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're there to serve the client. If there's a performance bottleneck, I mean, this happened like 3 weeks ago. There was a quick phone call from Raman to you saying, how can we help out? So it went through all the other pieces of a larger corporate system to say, let's just get this done.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that relationship really comes to key and to bear when you're doing these large transformations.
Okay, fantastic. Well, really at the end of the day, we're here to jointly help the customer
exactly.
see value. So anything we can do. And now I know all our online audience are looking at the virtual booths that we have.
right.
You have some key assets there. So I want them to go and take a look at that. Anything in particular you want to point as a call to action for our online audience?
Absolutely. So I'll definitely take a look at our virtual booth. We've got some artifacts out there. It calls out a few of our accelerators of SQL to vQual, our IQ Next product that's around data quality. Without the right data, there's no point virtualizing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there are other frameworks out there as to how you manage and govern around data governance. We've also got some best practices.
Okay.
So definitely look at the assets. We've got our email IDs in there. Reach out to us. Ram is online. Ping him. And if you want to stop by the booth physically, we're right here.
Okay, fantastic. Well, hello, Ram, if you're watching from far away.
Yeah.
You're absolutely an expert on data virtualization, and so I think he's a great resource if people can
Yep.
reach out to him.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen. Stephen, thank you for sharing your thoughts here, and Rajat.
Pleasure.
And
as
thank you
always.
again for sponsoring Denodo DataFest. We look forward to our relationship growing.
Thank you so much.
Very good.